Presents a White Snoop production. The White Snoop and T-Rose Show, starring the White Snoop and T-Rose.
Tweet us during the show using the hashtag Snoop Rose Show.
The White Snoop and T-Rose Show.
And welcome back. This is the White Snoop and T-Rose Show. I'm the White Snoop. This is T-Rose.
What up, what up?
First off, we just want to go back. You guys saw in our last episode, we talked about the Rudy Gay trade, and we broke it down pretty thoroughly, so we don't want to beat the shit out of it or anything. We just kind of want to give a little update of, how things kind of worked out and things that we discussed. First, on the Toronto Raptors side, it seems to have been addition by subtraction, because they're now 7-3, playing great team basketball. I know you saw the game the other night. I mean, moving the ball, everybody's kind of getting involved. DeMar DeRozan's looked really good. Jonas Valanciunas finally getting some opportunity to get some, get some burn, be able to touch the ball finally. He's looking good. 7-3, not a bad start to the post-Rudy Gay era. Thoughts?
Yeah, the Rudy Gay era that didn't last very long in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Rudy Gay does get a little jump shot crazy. I mean, was it one of his games in Sacramento? He took like
the double overtime game.
Yeah. What did he take? Like 37 shots.
He does like to shoot. Yeah, he's a volume shooter.
Yeah, that's just crazy. So
some of the bigger issues isn't even just the amount of shots, but the shots.
These shots. So, I said that. Remember, I said that about him in Memphis.
Yeah.
Remember, you got mad at me because I was like, I've lost confidence in Rudy Gay because he.
Well, he was also going through the injuries and stuff back then. He's not injured anymore. He even had his eyes fixed, and he's still doing it. So.
Okay. So if he was injured, he should have took less shots, right? All right. Anyway, but no, I'm not surprised by this at all. I did watch the Raptors game the other night. They're fun. They're a fun team to watch. They were down. I think double 12 points. I think
against New York.
Yeah.
They were down by 17 or 19, and Dallas came back and they won in overtime.
Kyle Lowry sets the tone for them really good, and they got guys that.
Don't forget that OKC game.
Yeah, no.
They were down by like 11 or 10 or 11. They won in OKC, the first and only team to do that so far this season.
They got guys that make shots.
They're back on top of the Atlantic Division. I mean, that's a feat.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm not sure, but we'll discuss that later on.
I was more kidding.
No, I know.
But they are on top.
No, that's good.
Big fish in a small pond, but they're on top.
Hey,
it's better to be the best of the worst and the worst of the worst, right?
That is true.
Let's look at the positive here.
Yeah. Now, from the Kings standpoint, I'm not really surprised that we're 3-6.
They're now 3-6 since the deal.
Not very surprised by that. I mean,
Rudy Gay's stat line is almost 19.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. I didn't look at the shooting percentage, but I'm sure it's right around 35%, like he usually is. I mean, they knew what they were getting. I mean, and I'm sure they're expecting to pay him $19 million when he accepts that player option. I don't even know why he hasn't signed it yet.
And look what he's playing, and look what they're pairing him with. No offense, I love DeMarcus Cousins
as a player.
When he plays.
Yeah, when he plays well, I mean, the guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a lot, there's a lot of maturity, on that team. The kid McLemore they drafted too. He's got some issues.
And they like those guys.
Well, the thing about the kid McLemore, I mean, he's. I mean, you look at the nucleus. I mean, I know this is a stretch, but a guy like Cousins, when he's arguably a top big, Rudy Gay is still one of the better small forwards in the league.
Correct.
And if McLemore remembers what if he can figure it out and score and he spreads the floor, he's a good shooter. The kid Isaiah Thomas plays good. I mean, it's not a bad
Isaiah Thomas actually played really well.
He's playing really well. So it's not a bad nucleus. You just gotta have someone to I mean, how many stray jackets do they have in Sacramento for those guys? So, like you said, what'd you say? Mike Malone's gonna he's
gonna invest in some Tylenol.
Man, I know.
Then there's let's not harp on this. I don't know if you saw when I sent you the article earlier of a possible trade for Rajon Rondo. I know there's a lot of teams. We don't want to talk about it too much.
Are we even going to talk about?
I'm just saying.
Talk about this?
I just want to throw this out there just because I think it's funny. I mean, there's lots of teams that are trying to that are in rumors for trades for Rajon Rondo when Danny Ainge has very clearly said they're not trading him. So we're not talking about this trade like it's about to happen tomorrow. I just think it's funny.
I'm never talking about it at all.
No, I just think it's funny because I mean you had him doing the nucleus with Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, you want to talk about Tylenol? He's gonna have to get the extra strength. That can,
can we move
or maybe on a positive side, maybe Rajon Rondo might smack some sense into him.
Okay, can we move on now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, I mean, that's the Rudy Gay update so far.
What's that oversell segment called? Really dumb trade idea? Is that how?
Well, the trade idea wasn't completely terrible. It's more stupid to talk about it because Danny Ainge probably isn't even going to entertain an idea until he at least sees what Rajon Rondo does when he comes back and sees what he has. Maybe see where the Celtics are going in the future. I mean, I don't see them jumping to make any Rajon Rondo trades yet.
Okay, I'm trying. I'm holding my laughter.
Yeah.
So
I am curious to what he'll be like when he comes back. I mean, the ACL is major.
That too. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a chance. I mean, what if they pull the trigger on this trade?
I'll tell you right now, the way, and we're gonna talk about this later, but the way these guys are dropping like flies with knees now, he might be smart to stay away.
And pull the D Rose, stay home.
Don't even bother.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, moving on.
But the funny thing is imagine the Celtics did pull the trigger on that trade. You know, it was who was it? McLemore, Thornton, Thompson,
anything that's not
and Isaiah Thomas.
Anything that's not.
They did 4 guys and 2 first-round picks, and then imagine Rajon Rondo comes back and the ACL was just too much. I mean, that Danny Ainge would be laughing the whole way to the bank. You know.
Yeah. And then the Kings would get the high five award. So maybe okay. So maybe I kind of hope it does happen, but anyway.
You just want him to flop.
Definitely.
Okay. So moving back to things that are actually happening in the NBA. You mentioned guys dropping like flies, and there's been plenty. I mean, we'll talk about the return that ended too soon. I mean, there's 2 of them. First, we'll talk about Kobe Bryant. I mean, we talked about him a lot in the last show, you know, because he just came back from the Achilles, you know, the ruptured Achilles. I mean, another very serious injury. And he looked like he was trying to get back into the rhythm. And, you know, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me. He was back for, what, 6, 8 games? I
think it was like 6 games.
And then he breaks a bone in his knee. And he's back out again. They say 6 weeks, although I keep hearing that 6 weeks is very generous, and that it'll most likely be longer. And before you comment, I just want to throw this out there, and then just throw this into your analysis. I've actually heard some people talking about Kobe, saying it might be smart for him to shut it down for the whole season and just make the return for next season.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
I didn't say it was going to happen. I just want your opinion.
I actually like the idea. Was it Barkley? I think Charles Barkley said
he's one of them. Yeah.
I mean, Barkley,
I've heard a couple different ones.
But Barkley was just blunt. The Lakers should shut him down.
Yeah.
Even if they have to lock him in a room and make sure he does not play until next year, he said they should do it. But we all know Kobe Bryant being Kobe Bryant, he's going to want to play, and it will not surprise me to see him back before the end of the year.
When they first said 6 weeks, I assumed he was going to be back in 5.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, then I heard it was generous, and I'm like, okay, maybe 6 weeks sounds about right. Maybe they were just thinking 6 weeks Kobe time.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's going to come back.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I was just more throwing out the idea.
I know. When I heard, you know, it's funny. I actually meant to say something to you about that when he said that, because that was probably that's you know, I agree with Chuck. They should shut him down.
I mean, if you think about it, you can rest up, be a part of practices, kind of work his way back, and, you know, let the team kind of just do its own thing, ride the wave. And
then come back 100% next year, hopefully.
Possibly with a new roster.
Yeah, no, that's also true. So, I don't know, but we all know that's not going to happen, so moving on.
The other big return that ended too soon, although he at least got a month and a half of play in, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, this is sad, because this dude was balling.
Yeah. It's actually, it was kind of like amazing. Like, it came out of nowhere. I mean, you know, he had, you know, the meniscus tear, from the whole incident with Patrick Beverley, and he comes back out of nowhere, a little early, but I mean, he was playing so well. I mean, you hardly even knew he was hurt.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was playing so well, and so it's nobody thought anything of it. I know there was complications. Back when he had 2 or 3 surgeries eventually. He didn't just have the one because there was issues.
Yeah, he said he had swollen.
Then they found another issue, and now they're saying he's possibly out for the rest of the season, or at least for an extended period of time.
Yeah, well, obviously this hurts OKC.
Big time.
I heard, I forget who it was. I think it was Doug Collins. He said that the Thunder were the best team in the West before this happened. And obviously,
a lot of people were saying they were. I mean, my vote was still with the...
Yeah, so obviously you take him out of the equation, it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, love Westbrook or hate him, he is that second scoring dynamic behind Kevin Durant. And you take him out of the picture, it's, I don't know.
Well, it changes. Westbrook not only is great in his own right, but he helps make Kevin Durant better. Because it's tough enough to guard Kevin Durant, but now with Westbrook on the floor, it's like, all right, well, yeah, we have to guard you, but we can't leave this guy. And now that other option is gone. I mean, then there's nobody on this team that scares you the way that those two do offensively. I mean, I understand Serge Ibaka can hit some shots.
Just stop.
I know Reggie Jackson has played well for them. I know Jeremy Lamb has even had some nice stretches, but I mean, none of those guys.
Yeah,
we're talking Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
You can put them
down here.
Put them together, and they don't do what Westbrook does.
Oh no.
So.
I mean, this goes back to when, the preview show, and we mentioned the idiots that say trade Westbrook, and what are you going to get that's going to make them better? I mean, Russell Westbrook is that good.
I agree. So
that definitely hurts them.
And then this is also another one. We're going to talk about a big guy. Brook Lopez goes down.
Yeah.
This is not good if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan.
This is really scary for not. I mean, the last ones we just talked about, they're scary for this season. Brook Lopez injury, I think, is probably the scariest career-wise.
Well, I told you, I'm thinking Yao Ming. He same thing. He had those. The right, wasn't it Yao the foot issues, right? And
I mean,
and Yao Ming was,
that's just one.
I know. But
big men and foot issues.
Yeah, no, they don't go together.
No.
I mean, you remember. I mean,
that's how you spell the end of the career.
Yeah, I know what. Listen, I agree. So the first thing I thought when I heard that he went down with the foot injury was, are we getting into Yao? I mean, at least Yao played longer and was, Yao was probably a top center in the league. I mean, Brook Lopez, how many years? What's he, like 4 or 5 years into his career, if that? Yeah. I mean, this guy.
I mean, the other
is just constantly injured.
I mean, the scary side is this could kill his career. I mean, if he even stays in the league, I mean, how healthy is he going to stay? How good can he be? And obviously, if he doesn't stay in the league, then he's gone. And you look at the Nets side of it, and they're paying him max money. And right now they're paying him max money to sit at home and nurse an injury. And we're talking about a team with no financial room to do anything. No. I mean, they're paying him max money. They're paying Joe Johnson max money.
Well, I was going to make a funny joke, but...
Were you? I'll let you.
I was going to say, no, remember, Melo's going to go there.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm quoting.
Yeah. And then, Darren Williams is getting max money.
And he hasn't been Mr. Healthy either.
No. And Kevin Garnett, I mean, I'm thinking about Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, they're not cheap.
No.
I know they're not max money, but they're not cheap. I mean, those are just, that's just those 5 guys. I mean, they have other guys that are making a little bit of change on the side.
Isn't Karolinko hurt too?
Yep.
Oh, man. The mash unit down there.
I mean, they have so many injuries, but they're so locked up financially that there's nothing they can do in the near future.
Jay Kidd might have to come out of retirement.
Yeah. He might be more useful on the floor at this point.
Oh, man.
But,
who's the other one?
Oh, I was going to get to him. But yeah, I just wanted to say...
Staying with big guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, I mean, I'm curious because, I mean, we all know the Nets are in a tough spot financially right now. I'm curious what moves they're going to make because we know that their owner's not shy.
What moves can they make? I mean, there really isn't a whole lot. there really isn't a whole lot they can do.
They're
You know,
not.
I mean, I said it.
I'm just curious what they're going to try to do from here.
No, I don't.
I mean,
I think right now.
I mean, we talked about one dead rumor. Well, one rumor that doesn't ever really even started. Another rumor that I believe I shared with you was, and this died. This isn't real trade talk, so don't like share it with your friends like you know something. Because apparently this didn't even leak until the trade bit the dust. Was Darren Williams being traded to Houston in exchange for Jeremy Lin and Amir Sheik. I mean, that trade's dead, but I'm just saying, I mean, if that was a talk, does that mean that they're willing to part ways with, one of their main guys? I mean, Darren Williams was,
the focal point. Like he was the first big name guy that they signed before they made all the other moves. But
I mean, him and Brooke Lopez are the cornerstones right now. I mean, I know Joe Johnson's getting max money, but he's not on their level. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett were just brought in as veterans who have done it before to help lead a championship charge. I mean, those are the cornerstones, and Brooke Lopez is out, and there was a rumor that there was at least a conversation about a Darren Williams trade, which makes you wonder what they might do going forward. I mean, obviously, trading for Jeremy Lin is a downgrade from Darren Williams, but adding Amir Sheik, at least they would have a center again. Right now, they have Andre Blatch stepping in, and Kevin Garnett would have to slide over to the 5 again.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, obviously, you bring a Sheik in, you're assuming that Lopez isn't going to be healthy again, because we all know how Sheik feels about coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So we won't.
And like I said, I don't want to harp on the trade like it was a real trade, because it's a dead talk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just wanted to say that there was a conversation, including one of their top guys.
Yeah.
So it's curious to think what they might do going forward.
No, we'll see. I mean.
And so moving on to the
staying with the big guys.
We got another big guy that's out for the season.
Al Horford, torn pectoral muscle, right?
You realize how major the injuries that we're talking right now.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
So Al Horford, another major injury, torn pectoral muscle, the opposite side. So now he's tore both, and he's out for the rest of the season. I mean,
I don't really think, just knowing the Atlanta Hawks situation, I don't even think there's really much that needs to be said about this one.
They were the only other team over 500 in the East besides Indiana and Miami. Yeah. And now I'm scared for them because
this
without Al Horford, it's going to be tough. I mean, they do still have other guys. I mean, they have Paul Millsap.
Who's playing center?
I didn't say that a full roster.
I
have it right in front of me.
Oh, yeah, we're looking at it now.
They have Paul Millsap. Did I mention him?
Play center?
No. You want to know who? And I actually, now that I saw the name, I actually heard somebody mention his name, and I thought it was kind of funny. Elton Brand.
Okay, like I said, there really isn't a lot we can say about how big of a
it's a scary situation for the Atlanta Hawks right now.
So moving on.
Get well soon, Al.
Yeah. Please do. Where are we now?
I'm hurt on that one.
The Elton Brand reference threw me off.
I forgot it.
Elton Brand and starting center together just. Wow.
So those are some guys going to be out, and we're not thinking that we might see again this season. So let's talk about some guys that came back. Let's look at the good news.
Positive side.
Big one for the Warriors. Andre Iguodala. Talked about his injury, and it was funny, we were talking in the last show about how he was out indefinitely, and then between when we filmed the show and had to post it, he came back on us. So obviously he's a huge part of what they do. Defensive wing player.
He'll be big for them down the end, toward the end of the year in playoff time.
Yeah.
So I'm not
plays
really,
kind of point forward at times.
Yeah, so I'm not really, it's good that he's back, but.
Yeah. Like we said in the last show, nice. He kind of does like a little bit of everything. He's a decent scorer.
I agree.
Passes. He rebounds a little. He defends
very well. No, I agree. So
and he makes the job easier for his teammates. I think that's probably one of the key things he does.
Yeah. So good for Golden State getting him back. So, definitely huge.
I forget the number. I think they said they're like 8-3 or like 10-3 with him.
Yeah.
And they're hardly over 500 because he was out for. A decent period of time. So definitely nice to see him back. if they can stay healthy, the Warriors are certainly one of the better teams, and not just the West, but in the NBA. So,
yeah,
good to see him back. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, the New York Knicks, they got the return of Tyson Chandler, the defensive anchor, and
boy, does he have his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
But no, it's good to see Chandler back.
Yeah, I'm sure they're excited.
Yeah, no, and so hopefully they'll be.
Now Andrea Bargnani doesn't have to be their defensive anchor.
Yeah, anyway,
I had to throw it in there.
Yeah, so hopefully, once he gets back into the groove of things there, and Melo, is Melo back yet? Is he playing? Because I know he missed.
No, they didn't play tonight.
Yeah,
but he missed the last 3 games. They're saying he's a game to game.
Yeah, so
I mean, not a crazy injury.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't listen.
No, I know. But
with our season enders.
Well, no, yeah, no, I know. But when he gets back, and hopefully Chandler gets back into the groove.
Hopefully they can finally turn this ship around.
Wow. Well,
I mean, I said it in the last show.
Can we babysat it? How about just turn it? Can you just turn it?
just turn it like a little bit.
Yeah, just
a slight. Maybe suck less.
Yeah.
Right now, tied with Philadelphia for the worst record in the division. 9-20.
I don't think we need to make fun of the Knicks anymore. So let's
we're actually not done with the Knicks, as you remember.
Oh God, yeah.
But I just want to say, because I said it in the last show, and I want to say it again. Now we have Tyson Chandler back. I feel a little more confident saying, even though, like I said, this is at the risk of being wrong in the end. I really don't think they're going to be this bad all season. And I think Tyson Chandler being back is going to be key in turning around to at least being a better team. I still think they're going to make the playoffs with a push.
Okay. All right. So
don't let me down, guys. But also in the Knicks, I just wanted to mention, just because they're so much fun. And I think we've talked about J.R. Smith and all the shows that we've had.
His tank truck?
Yeah, the tank truck has come up as well. But if you remember...
We still got to get a picture of that.
If you remember during the preview show, though, we actually not only mentioned J.R. Smith, but we got to even talk about his brother, Chris Smith. Well, unfortunately, this is going to be the last time we're going to talk about Chris Smith being on the Knicks, because he is no longer with the team as of today.
Okay, and why is this important?
Because it's at first you look at it and you go, oh, the Knicks wave Chris Smith, JR's brother. Okay, and you swipe it off the screens, you don't care. And then the day goes by, you look back down on your phone and you go, oh, I have another alert. And you go, J.R. Smith Instagram's picture about the Knicks' betrayal for cutting his brother. Really? Really?
Does anything surprise you at this point?
Really?
You didn't answer the question, though. Does this, honestly...
Nothing surprised me when it comes to J.R. Smith.
No, that's what I was going to say. No, but just J.R. Smith. Like,
I'm just saying, and the Knicks. And now they're all together in one.
This doesn't even surprise... Like, honestly, like, thinking about...
I just had to throw it in there.
The kid that J.R. Smith is, I'm not. Listen.
It's hard to call him a man.
I know, you're right about that.
He's just a boy. Yeah. A grown boy.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm not surprised. So, speaking of grown boys...
Plus, I promised somebody we were going to shout out J.R. Smith. So, shout out to J.R. Smith.
Okay. All right. And,
I don't know if you saw that.
Speaking of grown boys, do you want to talk about this now?
I mean, we might as well while we're on the drama subject. Which one I know we're staying on the same team, but which one do you want to talk about first?
No, we were going to move teams and go...
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying the next two topics are from the same team.
Oh, well...
They have two big drama issues.
Yeah, but I said grown boy, so...
okay.
Andrew Bynum. I don't know if you've heard... He was suspended indefinitely by the Cavaliers. Well, first, I did my... Hold on. I did my research. First, they originally suspended him for 1 game. And they were... I don't know what this dude did. They were so pissed at him. The game that they suspended him for was supposed to be like Andrew Bynum bobblehead night. And they said, fuck that. Throw the shits out. Fuck this guy. Which I think is hilarious. Then I read on to find out that... 1 game suspension turned into he's been excused from all basketball-related activities. So that basically is a Stephon Marbury treatment. Yeah. So
we'll send you your check in the mail, stay home, exactly, from our team.
Exactly. And I guess they said
I just want to throw the link out to the Knicks. Because you know our Knicks fans are going. We know exactly what that's like.
Yeah, but I don't see Andrew Bynum going to all the games on the road the way Marbury.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, courtside the Lakers game.
Well, now Andrew Bynum has plenty of time. Maybe he's home watching. Andrew Bynum, if you're watching, please buy a ticket to a Cavaliers game.
And you gotta say courtside and get on TV though. So anyway,
do one of your stupid hairdos or something that we can make fun of you for.
So, I guess they said he wasn't buying into. Like
they say
the rest of the team, his attitude, but doesn't really surprise me. The only thing that does surprise me, I was shocked initially because it's like these guys gave you a chance when not a lot of teams were willing to do that,
and you still act
like an idiot. So, but the problem is, and I'll say this about all these guys. No, he's in that category with guys like. There's him and the guys like DeMarcus Cousins. They will forever have jobs in the NBA because they're talented. Now, obviously, he's got injury issues. So going into the details, they have up till January 7th to waive him, or the rest of his contract. The other half of the $12 million is guaranteed for the rest of the year. Yeah. So I've read that, and
he's obviously on the block.
Yeah. So
they're trying to trade. I wonder if they don't trade him by January 7th, if they just cut him, or if they pick up the second half to try to trade him.
Everything that I've read. And credit to my boy Brian Rinhorst at ESPN, does a great job because he was all over it, all of it, the article I read. He believes that they're gonna if they can't find someone that will trade for him by the 7th, that they'll hold on to him and just wait till later in the year, or they even said maybe over during the draft because they have up until I think it's July. I forget the exact date, but it's like because the draft is like usually the end of June. Mm-hmm. So a team that trades for him during the draft can just send him home, and the money gets wiped from the books. The scenario that he actually put forward, and I know Bulls fans won't want to hear this, but they said a scenario they see is the Cavs trading Andrew Bynum for Luol Deng because the Bulls are over the luxury tax.
They can cut him.
And they can cut him, and he said if they do that, it will save him like $20 million. So, not saying it's going to happen, but like he used that as an example to say, hey, this guy's contract is...
If Andrew Bynum's traded, there's a good chance he's being traded for the fact that they can cut him.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But yeah. Well, that's...
Or at worst, be an expiring deal.
Well, he actually said that's probably the only reason someone will trade for him at this point, because if... There
is the slight possibility that somebody can trade for him because he's a 7-foot center with a lot of skill.
No, that's true, but
I'm
just saying, the contending teams.
When you look at the more likely situations, it's somebody probably. I mean, when you have somebody that's this big of a problem, it's really hard to predict. What somebody. But some of these teams do crazy things just to try to.
Yeah. No. I mean.
So I just wouldn't cancel the idea that somebody could be trading for him because he is a talented 7-foot center.
No, I agree. I mean, like I said,
I also want to add the part that really shocked me before I heard the whole story. I mean, you first saw the headline, Bynum suspended, and I just saw Bynum suspended, and I was like, really? It's like 'cause he was playing so well. You remember in the last show we even talked about how he's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, he's staying on the court.
And now he has to do something stupid off the court to kind of ruin it. And it's kind of sad. I mean, I wasn't shocked that he did something stupid. It's just more shocking that he doesn't get to play anymore because he was finally playing well and he's not hurt yet.
The bobblehead thing made me laugh though, because
they threw them all away.
Because for whatever reason, like when they were talking about that TV,
I wonder how much money did that, and they just don't give a shit.
But the thing is, like when they were talking about it on TV, like the guy made sure to mention that he goes, they're so bad that it was supposed to be like free Andrew Bynum bobblehead night, and they canceled it. They threw all the bobbleheads away. So I'm really sorry.
So sticking with the Cavaliers, they have one other guy that's going to be on the trading block because of issues off the court. Dion Waiters.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to shout out my boy. You know who my boy in Cleveland is, Dan Gilbert, because when they drafted him, you remember? I think we sat right here. It actually opened a lot. It raised a lot of eyebrows because this is nothing new with this guy. So the fact that he's there. starting all this trouble, just being a pain in the ass. I actually don't feel bad for Dan Gilbert at all because
I don't know.
This is what you get with this guy.
But I mean, I don't know if you read all the details. Apparently, Dion Waiters is upset because he wanted it to be his team.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, good for you.
Did you hear about that?
Good for him.
So he's very upset because he's coming off the bench.
Good for him.
I don't know if you heard him call out.
He didn't even start in college. He came off the bench in college. So who the hell is he
telling you what
he
he's
is?
saying.
No, well, he needs to...
But there's more.
Oh, it gets better?
Well, I'm sure you heard that he called out Kyrie Irving.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
he called out Kyrie Irving earlier in the season.
I completely ignored that because
it's
like you're.
It was just kind of funny, but then he gets relegated to the bench. The Cavaliers actually improve, so now he's upset because he's coming off the bench and he wanted to be like the guy. He thinks he's like the best guy. The article I was reading actually, somebody compared him to J.R. Smith. They said he's that guy who's on the court who just thinks he's the best and takes these shots. So
no, I mean, like I said, it's just shout out.
So, but there are two teams. There's two teams I read that were interested in him. Now I want you to remember in the back of your head that he wants to be the best player because that does come into a comment that he's made.
Is Sacramento one of them?
No, that's not one of them. Although that would be funny, right? You could trade for him and Bynum. And get Rondo. That could be their new starting lineup with Cousins and Gay.
Oh man. Looney Tunes. The Sacramento Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, I'll try to get back on topic.
So, the two teams, the one that's funny because of the whole Kyrie Irving situation is, although they do need a two-guard, the Chicago Bulls. I mean, Derrick Rose is a little more willing of a passer, I guess, but he obviously wouldn't be the best guy still. So, he'll still be second best.
I'm just gonna look away.
At best, you know what I mean.
I'm just gonna look away.
I'm just saying the Chicago Bulls have expressed interest. There's been some discussion. The other team is the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's actually from Philly. I don't know if you knew that. Fun Dion Waiters fact. He's from Philly, and some say because now out of the 3-point guards, Michael Carter-Williams is obviously the pass first. Derrick Rose is a willing passer. I mean, he moves the ball around, but he is a scoring point guard. I mean, Kyrie Irving's all about scoring. And then you have Michael Carter-Williams, who's a pass first, and they think maybe they could work together. I mean, obviously this would be interesting to see what the Cavaliers do with these two guys.
Well, I mean, I can see a Waiters Bynum for dang package. Would it surprise anybody?
No.
That'd have to be something
I'm just saying these are all some possibilities.
That's definitely a possibility.
Of course, whenever anything we'll talk about.
As far as the 76ers go, I don't know what.
Oh, who they be trading, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Is in the Bulls trade, it was Dang that was discussed for the fact that they're trying to dump the salary.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia guy would be Evan Turner, is the guy in the discussion. And the reason is because he's paid more. And his time to get paid is about to come up, and I guess the Philly owners are known as cheap and looking for the cut in salary.
Well, look where Philly is now. I don't think there's any.
It's not like they're winning anything yet.
Exactly.
They're tied with the Knicks for bottom of the Atlantic Division.
No, I mean no.
Small fish in a small pond.
Evan Turner.
So, that's what's going on there. Just one other topic we just want to go over really quick before we sign off the show. Of course, we have this is the end of the year is coming. We're New Year's Eve, month and a half till the All-Star game. I know all of you at home are probably voting for your starters. Of course, most of you just vote for your favorite players, and that's fine. I mean that's what it's there for, and you guys can vote for whoever you want for whatever reason. I mean, you can vote for Brian Scalabrine and Shannon Brown, and
Shannon Brown. Right?
Obviously, Blake Griffin gets a lot of votes because he can dunk, and Jeremy Lin gets his votes because he's Asian, and and that's fine. I mean, everybody has their own right. Personally, I like to vote for the best 10 players to start for the East and West. So I just want to talk about some nominees. We'll start in the East. Who do you think are some front court guys? I mean, let's just skip LeBron because I think everybody knows that, right?
LeBron, I'm gonna go Melo.
Hmm.
Man,
It's not. You don't have to pick a center. That's
no,
the fun part with new.
I know, but
Right now, the people leading the votes, by the way, I don't know if you know this: LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George. Those are the 3 front court players, which would probably put LeBron James at the center, Carmelo Anthony at the 4, and of course Paul George at the 3.
Okay, I can see that. And then the backcourt, you go. Man.
I'm trying to remember who's leading the votes without looking. I know Dwayne Wade, which is kind of a popularity thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I actually don't like the idea of Melo getting voted in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. LeBron's obvious. If you're not voting for LeBron James, you're just a hater.
Who would you put over Melo then? You...
I like the idea of picking at least one real center.
Oh, I do too.
Not even essentially even a real center, because one of the names is obviously a power forward who just plays center. I mean, but if you look at guys like, I like Roy Hibbert.
That's the center I was actually thinking of. But
that's a true center, and he's playing great this year.
Okay, so Hibbert, LeBron, Paul George.
Those are my guys. And then, those are the 3 that I am personally voting for.
Okay, and then.
And then you go to the backcourt. I don't like Dwayne Wade getting voted in because I think like Melo. I think it's a popularity thing.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving at the point. He's not my vote, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Oh.
He's certainly in the discussion. I think if I was going to construct a team, I'd put him in the bench. I don't think he's that far off.
Okay.
He definitely Kyrie Irving.
Does John Wall get some love?
I would definitely give John Wall some love. Those 2 definitely deserve to be on the team. Wall and Irving. I think it's kind of a flip of a coin of who you put on for your starter. I'm going to give the edge to John Wall, and I don't know if you're leaning Kyrie Irving.
No, that is a tough call.
Yeah. I don't fault you. I don't fault anybody vote for Kyrie Irving. But if you're voting for Dwayne Wade, stop. I think this is where we kind of have the fun discussion. John Wall and Kyrie Irving are both having phenomenal years. It's kind of like the you can't go wrong pick. As long as you're picking between one of those 2. I think the more interesting side is when you go to the 2 guard, and I think a lot of people are picking Dwayne Wade out of the popularity because, in all honesty, and this is no disrespect for any of the 2 guards, there's not like that guy playing the 2 spot anywhere in the East that you look at. Actually, to be honest, really across the league, there's not a lot of 2 guards that are like killing it this year that you're like, wow, like that's the guy. I have to vote for him, hands down. I don't care what anybody else is doing because that's how good he is. There's a couple guys that are playing pretty well. I think when you look across the East and you want to look at 2 guards, let's talk about some 2 guards that are playing well. Dwayne Wade has played well when he's on the floor. I don't love the pick because he's played all right, but he's missed games. I don't know. I guess it's probably not the worst pick because the guys I'm about to name aren't exactly better by a ton. But you look at what Aaron Aflalo. Well, here's the other funny part before I actually continue on him is a lot of times people like to reward winning teams. They take the best players off the better teams. But in the East, the teams all suck so bad that I'm just being honest that you really can't go wrong taking guys off losing teams, and that's why Aaron Aflalo should be in the discussion. Aaron Aflalo has played great this year. I understand Orlando is the second worst record in the East, or somewhere down there, second, third, fourth. They're not the worst, but they're definitely right down there. But that's not the fault of Aaron Aflalo, who's played really well. At the top of the show, we talked about how well the Toronto Raptors are playing, and part of it is because of the play of DeMar DeRozan. I think he deserves to be in the discussion. Can we mention Kyle Korver, Gerald Henderson? I don't know.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. I mean, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, I mean, Joe Johnson has had some good games.
Yeah, I was going to say him too.
So maybe he should be in the discussion. It's a tough spot because, like I said, there's not that one guy that really blows your mind.
Yeah. So stars from the West should be, what do we say, Hibbert, LeBron.
What do you this ease? So
Hibbert, say. Wow.
Hibbert, LeBron, and Paul George. I mean,
and then
I think we pretty much both agree.
And I guess
the Irving Wall coin toss. I'm going Wall. I don't know if you've made your mind up or if
I'm gonna say Irving.
You're gonna go Irving.
I'm gonna go Irving.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. And
I mean,
I guess and is D Wade he's our 2 just because he's D Wade.
I mean, are we gonna give him the celebrity vote just because there's not that guy killing it?
Yeah, I guess we have to.
I mean, I guess we'll give him this. We'll give him.
So
give him the Legends nod. We'll call
the Legends nod. All right, I like that. All right, so on to the West.
On to the West.
This should get fun.
Yeah, I think the West is a little more fun because I think there's a lot more, nominees for the positions.
Well,
I mean, we'll start with the front court.
Well, Kevin Love has to be the power forward. I think. I mean, that's my pick.
Can we talk about LaMarcus Aldridge?
Well, you interrupted me.
I'm saying, could we do 2? I mean, they're both kind of 4-5s.
Okay.
Can we start them both?
I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, they're both playing phenomenal this season. I mean, it's...
No, I wouldn't mind that
I mean, I'm starting to read things about LaMarcus Aldridge being the best. I still have Kevin Love number 1, but LaMarcus Aldridge is certainly making a case this season.
He's there.
He's being mentioned in MVP talks. I mean, the Blazers have been phenomenal. Now, obviously, in the West, we could start talking about winning teams.
Okay, so do Aldridge, Love, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I feel like Kevin Durant is in the LeBron kind of.
Does James Harden get there?
Well, are we off the front court? Is there anybody else that we want to give some love to? No pun intended. I mean, I just want to say because I know Blake Griffin's leading the votes, but I know it's because he dunks a lot. I mean, I really wish the
I was gonna try to get away from the front court so we wouldn't have that.
I just want to say I'm really upset that the fans aren't voting for LaMarcus Aldridge and Kevin Love.
This is a preview of White Snoop, by the way.
I'm just saying it's upsetting. I understand you guys love the dunks.
We already have 2 topics. What was the first one?
Yeah. I can come up with a lot.
But
I'm just saying. I wouldn't be mad if the coach put Blake Griffin in if all of you fans promised not to vote him in because he shouldn't start. That's just
okay. All right.
He's good, but he's not at the top. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
that was a preview, by the way, of White Snoopism.
I mean, Zebo deserves some love.
Yeah, I was gonna say him.
I mean, Dwight Howard deserves some love. I'm sorry, I have to.
Well, you know what's funny?
I know he's getting voted in.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I know he's getting voted in.
You know, he's Dwight Howard. He's
and it's not a terrible vote.
You know, it's
because he deserves to make the team.
Yeah, I
kind of like Blake Griffin. He deserves to make the team. I'm just not going to vote him as a starter. If they didn't get voted as starters, when we have our discussion of bench players, we'd bring them right back into the conversation.
You know, I actually, since we had to pick a center for these, I'm gonna go Dwight.
You weren't gonna go with Kendrick Perkins? I'm just kidding.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go Dwight Howard.
I'm okay with the Love Aldridge 4-5 combo.
No, I understand, but
so who you taking out? You're taking out Aldridge?
I don't know. I'm doing a coin flip in my head right now. Oof. I'm gonna give the nod to Love. So I'm gonna go Howard, Love, Durant. And as far as the backcourt goes,
the backcourt, I think we're having the same problem in the 2-guard position. I just want to start with the 2-guard just because I want to say this. There's no 2-guard in the West that's killing it either. I think James Harden has played well.
I think that's who's going to get the nod.
And he's probably going to get the nod.
He's been playing pretty good. And
I also want to mention Monte Ellis.
No,
I know in the past. See, before we started the show, I used to always talk bad about Monte. I never liked his efficiency, and I always thought he'd be great. I just want to admit it. I always said he should come off the bench because he puts in his scoring point. I mean, the guy can score. He can flat out score.
I always said that he'd be better if he wasn't the guy.
Yeah. and now he's
now
not.
that he's not,
But he's starting and he's playing really well. He's proving a lot of his critics wrong, and I mean he's doing a great job. I think he deserves.
People forget a lot of people have Monty Ellis as a top 5 shooting guard for a while. I mean, people,
he's a top player.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying, I never liked his efficiency, which is why I would have liked the idea of him coming out of the bench.
Can we put? So I mean, Chris Paul is obviously the point guard.
I think that goes without saying. Chris Paul will be the starting point guard.
Why don't we have Steph Curry play the 2?
Well, this is where I wanted to start the discussion. With the two guard spot. I mean, it's just a guard spot. You can vote for another point guard, James Harden's played well, and Monty Ellis has played well, and there's nothing wrong with voting for those guys because they both deserve to be all-stars. I'm just saying, if you wanted to go a different route with your starting pick, I think you could vote for Steph Curry. I also think you could vote for Tony Parker. I'd be okay with those guys being voted in. I feel like Chris Paul is the only gimme in the backcourt here. I think you can vote for any of those guys. And of course, when we come back to the bench guys, that's when Ricky Rubio or Damian Lillard might have a chance to make the bench. I don't think they should be starters.
No.
Yeah, and so I think for this Chris Paul alongside either the choice of Tony Parker, Steph Curry, Monty Ellis, or James Harden. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Harden.
My vote's Tony Parker.
Okay. All right. I can respect that.
So my 5 are going to be Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant, Tony Parker, Chris Paul. I'm going 2-headed point guard monster.
Okay. And
I got the beast down low.
Okay, and I got Howard, Love, so you're not getting a rebound.
You act like LaMarcus Aldridge can't get him bored.
I know. I'm just saying. I didn't say that.
You're not boarding against these guys.
No, you're not.
I mean, the West is going to win the rebounding battle with the conversation we're having. Because LeBron James is going
to... Durant's my 3. Chris Paul's my point guard, and James Harden's my 2.
Sounds good.
That's the way I'm going.
So I guess we only disagree on a couple of things. I got Aldridge. My votes are for Aldridge, Tony Parker,
Listen,
and John Wall.
I like Aldridge.
You got Kyrie Irving, Dwight Howard, and Steph Curry. I don't think either of us disagree with the other one that much. I'm just saying we have a few different choices.
Now, can we go over who's actually going to be starting? Because we know how the popularity thing works.
Well, the funny thing is I know we talked about him in the East. Now let's talk about it. Well, we already mentioned Blake Griffin and Dwight Howard are getting voted in. Well, you picked Dwight Howard too.
So we'll say Dwight, Blake,
and Durant,
Harden, Chris Paul. Harden's gonna get voted in to start.
Yeah.
Fear the beard. That's all you need to say.
Well, you even picked.
Well, no, I know.
The only one that we really think, the only people that are getting voted in that we're disagreeing on are Carmelo Anthony in the East and Blake Griffin in the West. Yeah. And I wouldn't even be mad if they were bench players. Yeah. We wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Going over to the East, I think it's going to be...
The only one I don't remember that's leading is the other guard. It was Dwayne Wade and another guard. I want to say it's Kyrie Irving, but I'm not 100%.
Well, I would say Wade, Irving, Melo, LeBron...
And Paul George.
Ooh, that's...
I mean, we substituted Roy Hibbert.
And then,
although Kyrie Irving, I know you picked him, I went with John Wall. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad pick. No. Dwayne Wade's just getting the Legends nod.
Yeah, well, no.
I think the fans are giving it to him for the same reason we are.
And Melo's going to get the
fan vote.
I don't think Melo's played bad. It's just his team stinks. I don't think he's played bad. I don't think he doesn't deserve to get voted in, though. I mean, I
just said I think he should be a bench player. I mean, I'm not saying he's terrible.
Yeah, but would you really...
Here's what I would vote.
Would you really be mad if Melo was voted to start, though?
Mad?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's all I'm asking.
I think there's way worse picks.
Okay.
And I think we've seen way worse.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right. No, that's all I wanted to ask. That's all I wanted to ask. Yeah. I was just going to say...
There's way worse things that have happened in the All-Star game. I'm just saying, when it comes to Melo and Blake Griffin, I think they should be safe for the bench.
Is Allen Iverson finally off the ballot?
Yeah, I don't know. He might win the vote again this year.
Yeah.
Him and Yao Ming.
Wasn't there one? Him
and Yao Ming were the same year.
Yeah. But at least Yao was like on a roster, sort of. But wasn't
but he
AI?
wasn't playing.
It wasn't AI. Was he even in the league?
Yeah, that's well. He had to be on a team to get onto the ballot.
Do you?
Nobody wrote his name in. He was technically on a roster.
Yeah, okay.
Yao Ming was out hurt.
Yeah, no, I know. That was funny. And
I don't think the thing is AI started it on a team and he ended up not on a roster by the time the game came around, which is why he didn't play in the game.
Yeah, he was.
He got substituted because of that.
I didn't think he was playing.
So, by the time the All-Star game came around, no. That's just same thing with Yao Ming, though.
Just funny to me. Anyway,
fans always do some funny things. I mean, their votes aren't completely terrible.
No,
but there are some. I like the idea of playing 3-3 spots.
Okay.
So, they're playing 3 small forwards to start in these.
Yeah. So is there anything else?
I think that's pretty much it on this episode.
Happy birthday, LeBron.
Yeah. So, just past midnight. Obviously this is going to air on New Year's Eve. LeBron's birthday yesterday, so I guess we should still happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
So we'll end the show on a happy belated birthday shout out to LeBron James. So, and I think that's it. Nothing else you have to add, right?
No, that's it.
No.
I think we about covered it all. We had our
fun.
We had our fun, grown boys. I like that. That's too funny.
So that's enough for episode 11. See you guys next year. You like that?
Yeah, no.
You get where I'm going on?
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one.
See you guys next year. Yeah. Episode 12 coming at you soon. Stay tuned. The White Snoop and T-Rose Show. I'm the White Snoop. This is T-Rose. Have a great day. Have a great New Year. Yeah. What?
This is the White Snoop presented by The White Snoop and T-Rose Show.
Watch more videos like old episodes on YouTube and subscribe to youtube.com/WhiteSnoop44. Follow and tweet us at 44entertainment, at WhiteSnoop44, at T-Rose_28. Use the hashtag Snoop Show. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WhiteSnoop244, facebook.com/TheWhiteSnoop44. Email us at WhiteSnoopProductions@gmail.com.